Interview again.
Hey, Mr. Mueller. Are you
Well, hello, Kavya.
free for 57 questions?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be wonderful.
So how many years have you taught for?
I've taught for 30 and a half years in Iowa.
Wow.
And I did 1 year in Illinois.
Okay. And out of those years, do you have any funny stories that you would like to share?
Yeah, just a few. No, I mean, usually they center around doing chemical reactions that maybe something started on fire. Had a couple explosions even recently with my nitrogen rockets or pumpkins that were, I wanted a little bit of an explosion, but it turned out to be a bigger explosion than I even wished for. But fortunately afterwards, those are always kind of funny and something to talk about, and probably something the students will remember for a while.
Mm-hmm. And what are you going to miss once you leave ADM?
I'll miss probably the best part of teaching is always like seeing students learn and grow and get something that they couldn't get at the start and maybe they struggled with, but then you were able to help them, and even maybe them getting a little more excited too about a subject that they didn't like at first and they started to enjoy it. And it's really satisfying when someone goes into science, a student that you taught.
Uh-huh. And who's your favorite coworker that you spend the most time at school?
Oh, that's a tough question. They're all great, but no, I mean, honestly, the staff here has been really great, professional, good people to work with. I probably just, I mean, as far as our high school staff, just because I know Mr. Jones from other places and from church, and we see each other at places. You know, I talk to him a lot, probably the most. He's nearby and good guy.
Yeah. And what's your favorite topic to teach in chemistry?
Oh, I always enjoy just the chemistry and chemical reactions, how things react. You know, and sometimes it's very colorful, sometimes very dramatic when you see bubbles forming or the explosions, the fire, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's fun to teach those subjects that kind of have the wow effect for students.
Yeah. I know that you also teach computer science, and what made you like go into computer science, like teach computer science?
Well, the honest truth is I was kind of voluntold to do it. They needed a computer science teacher after a previous one had left, someone to cover that. Kind of in my teaching schedule, I was the one probably the most available, and I guess they thought I could handle it. And yeah, so I went into it mainly just out of obligation, like they need someone to cover, but I did enjoy teaching it. I ended up enjoying it more, and after getting the hang of it.
Yeah. And what do you really like about computer science?
Well, I enjoy, you know, obviously it's a big deal to create apps and understand all the software in the computer's internet. It's so applicable to everyday life and pretty important to us. So, you know, I kind of always took that for granted. Now I have a little bit of an understanding of how it all works.
And what's your favorite activity that you teach to kids that they enjoy?
Probably two things I can think of. Like one in chemistry was maybe it's partly I like it as much as the kids do, but the hydrogen rockets. You know, we'd shoot little bottle rockets across the room with a lighter, and also then in physics, working with the fan carts. It's kind of cool. They take off and they produce thrust and they make it work. Yep.
Yeah. And could you like explain like one of like your activities that you do so people get like a better idea?
Oh, well, so the hydrogen rocket is we make hydrogen using zinc and acid, because whenever acid reacts with metals, they produce this hydrogen gas that bubbles from the metal. And so we trap it in a little bulb, and then you trap a little bit of oxygen in there by using hydrogen peroxide, because I think most people know hydrogen peroxide kind of fizzes and bubbles. So all those bubbles, when you mix them together, the hydrogen, and here's a little bottle right here. So it's they're not real big, but we mix the gases in there, and we put them on a lighter and shoot it across the room.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your best memory at ADM?
Oh, probably for track for coaching is was a state championship, but also just other meets too. Like even this year, we got second at state, and it was just a wonderful experience. Just because we saw people grow, we saw athletes get better as people and as athletes. So that's probably on the track side. As far as in the classroom, what I enjoyed most, my biggest accomplishment, just seeing students grow and learn and have success even after high school.
Yeah. And what's your first memory at ADM?
Well, I do remember the interview with Mr. Griebel, Mrs. Timmerman in a big room. There's like 12 of them. The athletic director was kind of overwhelming a little bit, other teachers, but I remember it going really well. And I just remember, even like, oh, I kind of like this place. I think this will be a good place. Our family was my kids were already going to school here, so it really was a nice thing. It worked out well to come to the school where my children were going to school. And then also I've been in different places. This is the third room I've been in at ADM. I was actually at the middle school for a while because I taught middle school for, I think, about 6 of my years here, or 7 years, about half the time. I was actually doing part-time middle school. And so I've been in 3 different rooms. And then I was also where Mrs. Gettler is, the FFA room. So those are kind of some memories I've had that have moved around. And I've seen different things happen even the school's changed a lot. They've added and renovated things.
Yeah. What made it so memorable that you still remember it today?
Oh, I think sometimes it's just easy to sit back and think about, well, things change in life, and I know now in 2 years they're going to have this new high school, and that's just why, because there was, a big change, and some of the people that were there, they're still here. And you just now I've grown to know these people really well. Working for both Mrs. Timmerman and Mr. Griebel, we've become, definitely much more professionally connected and built up some good friendships with those people too.
And how many years have you been teaching at ADM?
15. Well, actually, it's been 14 years at ADM. So almost half my time of teaching was at ADM.
Oh, wow. And so what other schools or grades have you taught other than high school?
Well, okay, I've taught, just like I was high school everywhere else than here, but I did teach at high school at Newton, Linville Sully, Denison, and Perry. Okay. So this is my 5th school. This is the only school I did middle school. So otherwise it was always high school science. Yeah. Mainly chemistry, a little bit of biology.
What's your favorite drink that you like?
Coffee with whipped cream creamer.
And do you like black coffee, or do you like any of the other types of coffee?
No, I don't like black coffee. I need to have some cream in there. So.
Yeah.
And I don't really like the real sweet creamers either. I'd rather just have the regular whipping cream. Heavy whipping cream is the best.
And what's your favorite? Do you have a favorite food, and what is it?
That's a good question. I really like barbecued ribs, pulled pork, that kind of stuff, the barbecue stuff. But a good steak is good, and lasagna. Yeah, is really good. I enjoy that.
And what's your spirit animal?
Spirit animal?
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
So a spirit animal.
Okay. Go ahead.
A spirit animal is basically an animal that you relate to the most, or that have qualities that you have.
That's a good question. Probably, something like, a rabbit, I guess. Okay. I like being outside, darting around, running. Yeah.
That's interesting. And how do you spend your free time?
A lot of it, I run, watch sports, watch movies. I like being outdoors.
And what are the favorite sport that you like to watch in your free time?
Basketball, football,
Mhm.
probably my number one and two, and yeah. But I like kind of all sports to some degree.
Yeah. And what's your favorite book that you have?
Ooh, I'll go Bible
Bible?
if I had to pick one. Um, I like some. I guess beyond that, I just remember Lord of the Flies. I actually liked a lot. I don't know. I think if some of the students here read that and things like that, Brave New World. So even some of the books I had to read in high school, I actually did really enjoy. I kind of
Oh,
look back at them, and I haven't read a lot of books. So, but those were good stories, and I enjoyed reading them.
yeah. And what's your favorite movie?
I Back to the Futures. I like those one and two. The Star Wars movies have
Mm-hmm.
been really good. Mission Impossible,
Yeah.
all those type of movies.
And what do your typical summers look like?
Well, pretty laid back, relaxed. I work different jobs, projects. For instance, deliver Amazon packages. I've done that before. I used to detassel,
Oh,
and then I built the deck. Painted our fence at home.
oh, that's
Those types of things. That's kind of what my summer looks like. A lot of golf. Hopefully this summer a lot more golf.
yeah. And what do your typical like Saturdays and Sundays look like? Like during the school day?
Yeah, during the school year, um, track season we ended up having quite a few track meets and some practices on Saturdays. But otherwise, it's getting projects done. Being pretty lazy, but maybe getting one or two projects done around the house, whether it be cleaning or putting stuff away, fixing something
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be done at home that my wife needs me to do. Um, but yeah, and maybe occasionally those are times for trips to see my mom up in Minnesota.
Yeah. And what's like your dream vacation that you have?
I love probably, I guess if you say dream that I haven't done it, but I'll say I really enjoy going to Colorado and hiking. And that, I suppose I get to do that once a year. But maybe dream would be, hopefully now we'll get to travel a little bit more. My wife and I going to maybe somewhere really tropical
Mm-hmm.
and exploring a little bit. Something like that would be kind of a
Yeah.
dream trip. Or going to Europe would be really cool. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Seeing all that history and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why like Europe?
Oh, I think because you can, those countries are, you can kind of see two or three countries. They're close together all at once. And so much of our history, in a way, goes back to there. There's even some science history in Europe too, quite a bit. Famous scientists. So,
Mm-hmm. And what's like a recipe that you can cook to perfection? And can you tell us what the recipe is?
not a lot. As far as recipes, I was trying to think. Chili. I mean, I kind of have to follow the recipe. I don't know if I can do it by heart, but I can make pretty good chili. My wife's got a
Mm-hmm.
good recipe for that.
Yeah. And if you could meet any famous person, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, wow. Um, Probably Justin Jefferson would be fun to hang out with.
Mm-hmm. And what's one of your biggest pet peeves?
Oh, that's a good question too. Let's see. I don't know. Um, Complaining. People complain, being negative.
Yeah. And what do you enjoy like learning about that you like don't have to learn?
I'm kind of really intrigued by learning about war. I've actually sat and watched videos, series on the Civil War and World War II. So I guess that's something I'll do that on my own time, even though I don't have to. But I'm just always intrigued by that history, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And what is something that you always say in class?
Well, this year probably a lot about, listen quietly and look while you're listening. But in a normal basis, just to kind of, seem like I end up saying, make sure you get your work done. Some form of that, like be working during class, whether you're having fun or not, but just make sure you're getting your work done.
Mm-hmm. And what's your favorite show to binge watch?
A few years ago, I watched The Office. That was kind of fun. Did that for a summer maybe or whatever. Haven't done a lot of binge watching, to be honest. But I do like some of the sports shows. Like I did watch the Last Dance series. Michael Jordan, his last championship season.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And what's one of your most embarrassing memory from your school days?
From when I was in school or as a teacher?
Like when you were in school.
Okay. Well, I fainted during a speech contest. That was kind of embarrassing. Had to sit down for a while, and they had to kind of revive me. But then I think the judge gave me a good score out of sympathy.
Yeah. And can you like tell us more about like how you fainted and like what were some of like the categories that you did when you were in school?
Well, I gave the Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln. 7 years ago, our fathers, came upon this continent. So I just kind of recited that. I think I knew it pretty much by heart, mostly by heart.
Oh, that's cool.
And had to present it dramatically a little bit. And but I just remember that day. I actually always had trouble. The interesting thing, even as a teacher, before I became a teacher, I'd get faint when I stood up in front of groups and talked.
Oh, wow.
And so I then went into teaching. I think with students, it doesn't bother me as much as other adults.
And how did you like kind of overcome that?
Honestly, like just by doing it a lot. I think the more you do it, the more you present. That's why I think it's good schools make you do speech, because most often in life you probably have to present at some point, and you just do it. It gets easier, and be prepared. Yeah.
What was your major in college?
Chemistry.
And where did you go to high school?
Hendricks, Minnesota.
And what was your favorite subject when you were in high school?
Math. I always really liked math.
And what's like the best part of being a track head coach?
I would say it is, again, seeing athletes improve, gain confidence. Regardless of the person on the team, I get excited about when girls do really good at state meet and have improved, but I also get pretty excited, even like our JV girls, when they have a personal record and improve and are all smiley.
And what will you miss most about track?
Just the joy of, like I said, the fun times at state or conference, the celebrations when we've won, but also just interacting with the coaches and the athletes, having fun together. A very healthy thing, physically and mentally.
Yeah. And what did you run when you were in high school?
800 half mile, mostly.
Yeah. And why did you decide to be a coach / a teacher?
The coaching one's easy because I really like sports, and I wanted to kind of stay involved in sports even after I was done competing. But also the teaching part, I took a part-time job tutoring even. I was like a youth director at that time in a church, and I had to make some money on the side, and I tutored, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed helping someone with their math and their science and helping them learn. I thought, well, that's pretty cool, and then I could coach and teach together.
And what's one piece of advice you would give to your younger self?
Just be yourself. That's probably the biggest thing. Enjoy who you are. Don't be insecure about it. Be confident. Be the best you can be. But yeah.
And do you have any words of farewell to your farewell advice to your students?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing in life is keep the important things important, and most important things aren't things. It's people. So really relationships are really important. Have good relationships in life. Hopefully whatever you do it to help others. Just make sure you're always doing that and have good quality relationships in life and be yourself. And I think things work out pretty well.
And what is something that you are learning that you want to master?
Ooh. It's a good question. I probably just like to learn more construction skills, car working skills, to work with cars, and AI.
Okay.
I want to get better with AI because I think it can do a lot of cool stuff for us. Not use it to cheat on assignments though.
Yeah. And what's a new hobby that you've picked up?
Probably I would just say, in general, if you went over the last few years, doing construction, doing woodworking projects at home, building a deck, things like that. I built the wedding floor for my daughter last summer. Checkered, it was awesome. Turned out pretty well.
Yeah. And what are like some of your must have apps on your phone?
Ooh. I mean, I do a lot. I guess the one that I work with my most is Amazon Flex, because I deliver Amazon packages. And that's probably one I don't know. I'm trying to think of other ones that I do, but once in a while I'll measure my runs with Strava, a running app.
Yeah. And what are you looking forward to after you retire?
Just having a lot of freedom, flexibility with my schedule, to whether it be to help at church more, whether it to be involved doing family stuff more, whether my mom or my kids. That's what I look forward to.
Okay. And if you won the lottery, what would be the first thing you would buy?
Ooh. Well, probably get a really nice vehicle. Maybe a Tesla, maybe a nice big new Pilot. I have my Pilot. I really like my Pilot. Actually, no, I don't like the new Pilots. But anyway, probably get a truck where I can have room in the back to store stuff.
Yeah. And what is something a student can do that instantly makes you smile or brightens your day?
Oh, I think just, I always enjoy when they want to learn and they do the lesson and they're asking questions.
And how many hours of sleep do you actually get on a typical school night?
8 hours. I need my 8 hours.
And what is the most memorable or creative project that a student has ever turned into you?
Well, some students did a pretty creative job on their cars just recently. That's just what I'm thinking of with how they did the gears. I know, I'll just say, one kid Cooper Fuller he actually did a worm gear to make the engine run instead of a pulley, which was pretty cool and it worked really well.
Yeah. And if you could write a book about your teaching career, what would the title be of it?
That's a good one. Probably just keep on working, or I don't know, maybe that's kind of boring, but never give up.
Yeah. And what's the most random thing you've bought?
Purchased?
Yeah.
I now that I can get stuff on Amazon, I buy some goofy stuff. Well, that's a tough one. I don't know. Can I pass? Or
Okay.
I got to do it. Yeah. I don't know. Weird magnets.
Okay.
I buy weird magnets on Amazon because I think they're cool.
Yeah. And lastly, what clothing trend from your teenager years are you most terrified of coming back?
Oh, the bell bottoms, probably.
Why that?
Or the leg warmers. I don't know. To me, they look silly.
Okay. And
it's not cool to me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that wraps up 57 questions with Bart Mueller.